big cat. Welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Big Cat Fire Signs, Grand Rising. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology. Big Cat Wave, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 17th, the moon enters Pisces. Have some compassion for the people that you love and give some to yourself. A gentle hand can be beneficial at this time. On the 18th, Mercury in Capricorn trines Jupiter in Taurus. This is an excellent time to apply to universities, add extra effort into studying for examinations, as well as traveling to foreign lands and exploring different cultures. Business affairs go well. You might even get good news that your children have gotten into a school you've applied for, or the schools you've applied for. It's also a great time to take up another language. On the 19th, the moon enters Aries. This transforms you into a bundle of energy and gives you confidence in your own skills. Act spontaneously in a responsible manner. Start new projects with assertiveness. Now it is the best time to tackle difficult things. On the 20th, Venus in Scorpio opposes Uranus in Taurus. While it's a great day for wallets, it's a rough day for relationships, as this aspect can create tension and paranoia. On the 21st, the Sun enters Capricorn. On the shortest day of the year, ambition, direction and goals is the main focus during Capricorn season. Mercury also retrograde in Capricorn. You may want to focus on old goals and ambitions. Give yourself some time to get on the right path. You also have Mercury in Capricorn sextiling Saturn in Pisces. Focus will be better at the moment, and you can use this to your advantage to set yourself up with a plan or a goal. On the 22nd, the Sun in Capricorn is conjunct Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. This conjunction offers intense mental energy and the excellent ability to concentrate. Traffic on the road and travel in the sky should go smoothly with this aspect. On the 23rd, Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. It slip-slided from Capricorn straight into Sagittarius. Mercury goes backward in Sagittarius for the remainder of the month and the retrograde. It can make you lazier, prone to excess and a little bit selfish. You need to work on seeing the big picture, but not so much that you completely ignore the details. Prioritize self-care. It's important during this period. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave. Namaste! Grand Rising Fire Signs, welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your next 7 days. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack for the messages. You have a 1 and a 5, darling dears. The energy of the 1 is about evaluating everything, darling dear. It's also pointing to the fact that you must not attempt any major decisions or major moves, darling dears, until after the next new moon. Okay, the next new moon is going to be on the 11th of January 2024 in Capricorn. Remember, I told you that Capricorn is the sign of the 10th house. It's the sign of your ambition, it's your career, your structure, your status, your reputation, your everything, blood. Yeah, it's also the house of your maternal father. You also have the energy of the 4, and it's again pointing to your communications, whether written, by word, handshake, whatever it is. Your communications, you must limit them until after the next new moon. It also speaks about, for some, you're going to be moving towards a phase where a new love affair is coming into your life, darling dears. Go with the energy of the 1. Evaluate everything. Here at Don't Get Smoke Central, I advise you on a regular basis. Do the boosie badass. All gets investigated. Trust no one. I don't care who they are. You investigate them, darling dears, before you let them into your inner realms. The energy of the 5 speaks about your foundation, darling dear, will be on the chopping block. Remember, I told you that. The energy of the 5, darling dears, your birthday or the significant date could be the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd. Your luckiest numbers over the next 7 days will be 1, 5, and 7. You are a free spirit, darling dears. Energies around you is pointing to the fact that it may not be the best of times for you, but darling dear, this too shall pass. Remember, I told you that. Your luckiest days will be Friday and Sunday. The 5 is represented by the letters E and W, and in numerology, the 5 is ruled by Mercury. Let's speak about Mercury. It's about your intellect, your perception, your thinking, and your communications. And again, be careful of your communications over the next 7 days, darling dears. We currently got Mercury in retrograde. Where? In Capricorn, darling. Wasn't we just talking about Capricorn, the 10th house? Okay, then. Mercury itself rules the letters E, H, N, and X. So you've got E twice, N, W, H, and N twice, and X. All right, darling dears. Yes, baby. So E and N is standing out, darling dears. Be on the alert for those letters. It may even be the letters of your own name. Just saw 333 on the counter. This is about you trusting your intuition. Believe in yourself, darling dears. You're making your dreams a reality. The energy of the 5, darling dears, is also pointing to someone having a problem within their home environment. Pay attention, darling dear. Investigate everything with the 'Y', because it's going to threaten. It's going to, how can I put it? The intel that's communicated to you is not true, darling dear. Go in, dive in, darling dear, and get to the root and the cause and the truth. Pinkies up. The 5 is represented by the Hierophant in Tarot, the God card in Tarot. It's also the 2nd house, so it's about your values, your income, the things that you prioritize in life, darling dears, your material possessions, your habits, your work ethic. Take a closer look at these things, but make no major decisions around these areas. Pardon me, this is spiritual belch because I speak the truth. Pinkies up. Don't make no decisions around these areas until after the next new moon on the 1st of January. And it's what? 111. Remember, I told you that. Manifestation mode. All right. Okay, let's dive a little deeper, darling dears. We're going to get your Oracle Ancestral message. We're going to use the Goddess and Goddess deck. Oh, all of my decks have elastic bands. This one's come all the way off. Yep. You're about to break a cycle, darling dears. Yep. Let's give it a quick shufty and wake the deck up. Base of your deck. Stay rooted and grounded, darling dears. Know your worth and add tax, and pay attention to the facts. What your ancestors want you to know over the next 7 days? Oracle, darling dears. Some of you are going to be seeking tarot readings. You may even be a tarot reader, darling dears. but it's also about intuitive messages coming to you, which you must pay attention to. I'm seeing smoke in this. Maybe you're burning your incense, darling dears. California white sage, rose. Wait for important information. Messages are coming through, and we already know not to make any wise moves until after the 11th of January, next new moon. All right, we've got what? Bask in the light of the summer, busy as a bee. It's rumored that if all the bees disappear, we'll all be dead, darling dears. The bees are keeping the whole of this Malkuth alive. The honey rhymes with money, darling dears. You're going to be getting intuitive messages about your status, your money, your career over the next 7 days. Pay attention to the signs, the symbols, the messages, and act accordingly. But don't act until after the next new moon. Busy as a bee. And remember, there is only one queen in a beehive, darling dears. The rest are just workers. Right? You've got an elder ancestor around you at this moment in time. This person looks indigenous. Move beyond ancestral patterns. You was meant to be what? A generational curse breaker. You saw the broken elastic band, darling dears. Pay attention. You are being the what? The figurehead, the prototype of your lineage. You've been earmarked for this, and you have purpose, and you have something that you have to carry out, but only after the next new moon. You are the generational curse breaker. Right, oh child, that's a lot of intel. Let's get a quick set of messages before we dive in and ask direct questions. Questions. Direct messages. We've got the Tower moment, the sudden change in your life. The Tower moment is fire, Mars, and Uranus energy. Some of you are also taking up self-defense classes, or someone wants to put you in a position where you have to defend yourself. It's also speaking about an argument that is going to lead to a separation in a friendship or relationship. Yeah, it's a crisis point, darling dears. But this is going to be a releasing of a habit. It was habitual for you to be in a situation, breaking generational curses, darling dears. Let me remind you what it says. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Yeah. Seeing a lot of brown in this, because there's brown on all of these cards. The color brown speaks about the stability and the earthiness, and again it's pointing back to you being grounded, darling dears. Brown also represents what? Money. Remember I told you that. Tower moment. It also speaks about pause, releasing a situation, no longer being attached. This not the season for you, or not the next 7 days must you master yourself to a situation. Martyr yourself to a situation. Master the situation, yes, but don't martyr yourself to it. Face of the deck, darling dear, because evil is afoot. Skullduggery, darling dears. Yeah, but the reverse of evil is live. You shall live. Those who believe in the Most High shall never die. Yeah, somebody tried to cheat on you, darling dears. Well, this cheater is being what? Unmasked. Remember I told you that. It could be a friendship, platonic, relationship, whatever the ship is, darling dear. 11th house is the house of what? Groups and friends, darling dears. It's a friendship that's cheating on you, darling dear. This person is evil to the core. A monitoring spirit you have on your tail. Remember I told you that. You've already had the intuitive messages about the situations. Maybe something went down in the summertime that made you really look at this person, or it's about to happen. Listen, you've got the heads up. You've got time to what? Do the tinky winky and get away with your bag, darling dears. The 11th house is about you being aware of this. The 11th house is ruled by Uranus. Uranus rules technology. Maybe you found out something online of the devil's most diligent worker. Good God. Major arcana again. And the devil rules what? The 10th house and the 11th house. We've been talking about Capricorn and Aquarius, darling dears. Listen, it's all signs, darling dears. We got 16 to 15, so it's the final countdown. A situation where you've been cheated. Cheating could also mean what? Not being what? Truthful, or giving the full truth of a situation. Being sent into groups, amongst groups blindly, where what? Evil is lurking for you, darling dear. Remember I told you that. Not everywhere big cat steps, right, is sacred. So therefore you have to use your intuition and your discernment. Listen to that feeling you get in your tummy, darling dears. We've got two brains, one in our cranium and one in our stomach, darling dears. Listen to one in your stomach. It will be no S, darling dear. Stomach, because you have to listen. Be seen, Linda, because you've got a stalker on you. This monitoring spirit, darling dears. Gang. It could also be a gang stalker. It could be a whole bushel of these. What? Feeble-minded simpletons, darling dears. Feeble-minded and a simpleton. I said it in my Nini League's voice. A new beginning, darling dear. And it's also about you cheating an evil situation with the sudden change. Could be the sudden change of your plans, darling dears. Not in choosing to go around a group activity. It could be family, darling dears. Friends. It could also be in the work environment. Why? Because Capricorn represents people in higher positions. It could be your boss. Someone in a leadership position who is a stalker, darling dears. That person stalk you at night. Yeah, all up in your social medias, darling dears. Why everything should be on private. It's only for your eyes. Let's carry on. Let's get a deck. Base of your deck. You've got the Seven of Pentacles. You're making the right investments. It also speaks about the right partner coming towards you. Seven of Pentacles in the upright. It's about you continuing to plan. Continue to plan, darling dears, because a stable solution is about to come through for you. And it's also, this situation is going to bring some form of loyalty. But you have to persevere. Somebody's also making investments over the next 7 days. Read the fine print, darling dear. 11th house, if you're going to make an investment, it's not a good idea. Right? To avoid the cheatation, to get involved with anybody in groups. Or someone who's in a higher position. Maybe this someone has some information about an investment, darling dear. But it's going to be to their betterment, not yours. Remember, I told you that. Make the right investments. Right. How does the big cat fire signs finances look over the next 7 days? Good golly and gosh. 10 of Cups, Hermit. Yeah. Emotional fulfillment and alignment is going all good in your hood. Why are you keeping your skrillers to yourself, darling dear? This is about you. Some of you are going to be taking a closer look at your financial situation over the next 7 days. You want to, it's like you're trying to build something new. The Hermit also is looking out onto new ground. Maybe somebody wants to build a new home or fix something within the home over the next 7 days. You're looking at your finances. 7 of Swords. Yeah, some of you need to get out of the lack mentality because you bring more lack into your situation. But your money's looking good. This is single and independent. Your grass being abundant. Your coffers being overflowing, darling. There's 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, but I'm seeing what? I'm seeing Mars and Pisces energy here. Pentacles is Virgo energy. The Hermit is Virgo energy. All right. Leo energy. Yeah. Beware of cheatation, darling dear. This is somebody who will come to cheat you. I told you evil is afoot, and it's something to do with something that you've established for yourself. This is working hard. Some of you went into a circumstance or situation without the full knowledge or the understanding of a situation. This is a financial situation. I'm speaking of a past situation, but you were spiritually guided. Yeah, King of Cups. Listen to your intuition and your discernment, but it's also about mastering your emotions, not making any extravagant expenditures over the next 7 days. Because listen, judgment is afoot. Why is these cards all mixed around? Judgment is afoot, and we've got the Knight of Swords. Good golly and gosh, someone that does not wish you well, darling dears. This person usually goes around with a throuple. These throuples don't like each other. Judgment is the Karma card. Lordy, 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 lordy. What's going on with this evil and cheatation, darling dears, before we get to the next question? Someone's under judgment. They get in the what? Wiki, wiki, wiki. Dubplate remix of the instant karma. 3 of Wands. Divine is telling you not to get involved in this situation. Turn your back. Focus on your long-term goals and visions. Again, the 10th cup. This is for your emotional fulfillment. Knight of Swords is a lot of passive-aggressive at your back. Messages coming in through because you're choosing to turn your back on the situation. You have the key to your healing. All right. Let's go again. The next question is going to be on relationships, right? We know about the skullduggeress and the skullduggery. What else do we need to know about the big cat fire signs relationships over the next 7 days? Yeah, liars, darling dears. People that don't wish you well. Wowzers! What about them? Hangman. What did I just say? You ain't sacrificing yourself to this no more. Queen of Swords on her face. This is bitter and jealous people, darling dears, that kept you stuck for a time with their lies, their immature manipulation of your emotions, darling dears. People that kept you stuck, or a person that is evil, darling dears. And again, look what fell off the top. Didn't even get a chance to shuffle. This is somebody that possibly had you in a third party. Third party could be anything from work. It could be another person. It could be alcohol, the jugs, whatever it is, darling dears. King of Swords, you're cutting it out. Yeah, it wasn't a fitting match. You was for the light and they are for the darkness, darling dears. This is somebody who's lying. I'm also hearing about injecting. Someone who injects something. Could be themselves into other people's business or something into them, darling dear. This is someone caught up in a whole load of what? A whole lot of going on. A liar and manipulator. And it's a relationships with your progeny, darling dears. You're going to have to question the progeny closely over the next 7 days, right? They're not telling you exactly where they really was at a period in time, darling dear. They wasn't where they said they was. Ask them questions. Let no one cheat you out the truth over the next 7 days. A lot of manipulation, darling dear. But you've overcome this. Yeah. There's certain groups that you will never be in again. Wheel of Fortune. It's your destiny to go through this, darling dears. But the lesson is learning and understanding and not putting yourself in that situation again. Remember, the most valuable thing you will ever have is yourself, darling dear. Got to take it everywhere. People that you're not speaking to. What about the obstacles? Any obstacles in your path? We've got the Queen of Pentacles, Empress in reverse, the Strength card. Some of you are going to be having issues with your mother or a mother figure. Trying to create an obstacle in your life. This goes to Nine of Cups. They see you getting some kind of wish fulfillment. And they know that you're spiritually strong. You're not involved in the drama. But this is somebody who's bitter and can't be abundant. If they've got progeny, that child or children had to what? Bite their own umbilical cord right off. And what? Hit the ground running. Someone doesn't like the abundance that you're creating in your life. What is the opportunity in all of these cards? You get an offer, darling dears. Page of Cups. You have an offer coming in with the opportunities. Yeah. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords also represents mental gymnastics, darling dears. The ruminating thoughts. Divine is telling you to what? Get a hold on your feelings, your emotions, and your mentals, and your everything. This is what the opportunity is for you to what? Bend the matrix. Yeah, the Sun and the Nine of Wands. This is a spiritual warfare you're under, darling dears. But you're going to win. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Right. Final advice. I'll just get another deck. I'm going to use the life lesson cards. Final advice for the fire signs for the next 7 days. Yeah, balance out your chakras. Some of you may be using yoga, pilates, or even just sitting quietly. It's time for you to balance out yourself. Your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. Get your body moving, darling dears. This is taking care of your own temple. Yeah, energy healing. Some of you needs to cleanse your energies. Maybe you'll be using yoga, dance, whatever it is that you do to get yourself in the high vibration, darling dear. But it's also about calling in your ancestors, asking them to give you some guidance into how to get to that sweet spot, which is for you. Remember I told you that. Face of the deck, you're in a leadership role. We began on a 5, darling dears, protected by the Most High. But you have to what? Take charge of the situation. So many messages, so little time. On that notes, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, and my TikToks, where I also upload videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And what? Leave a message, darling dear, because your message could and is a survival kit for another big cat. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Big Cat Wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat.
Cat. Hey, big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.